What happened to the hottest boy slash girl that you went to school with? Ask my uncle this. The hottest girl went on to marry NFL superstar Dan Marino and subsequently get cheated on left and right. Still married. She's had like 5 kids in the past 8 years. Still smoking hot. Divorced. We haven't talked since high school. But about 6 months ago I uploaded a picture of myself to Facebook and she liked it. Guess you could say things are getting pretty serious. This girl wasn't the hottest, but was someone that caught my attention at the time, which made me Google her a couple of years after graduating high school. There was some article about her dying from some medical complications. Very surreal. Not my school, but the girls' school in my small Irish town. One was Miss Universe Ireland in 2010, and another was Miss Ireland earlier this year. Fuck, they were and still are incredibly hot. He died in a car wreck with 3 other dudes when he was 23. Back in kindergarten, he and I were 5-year-old sweethearts. Then I cut my hair short and he had to ask for the ring back. His family gave him good-natured hell over that for years. I ran into his mama a few months ago. Neither one of us knew what to say. I'm sorry. It's weird when things like that happen. My buddy died at 24. And I didn't want to tell his mom that he was a complete asshole. The only way I remember him. The last time we hung out he'd made out with 2 different girls that were best friends basically in front of each other with me winging. He was a bro. Doesn't even feel like he's gone. I still haven't shed a tear. She used Cutsiel but to go see her boyfriend and hang out in the park where they discovered each other's bodies as she explained it. One day, she just quit coming to school. Turns out she got pregnant and ran off with him to get married against her family's wishes. That was in 2002, grade 11. Found her on Facebook a year ago. She wears a hijab now. Has married the guy she ran off with, I assume. Since I never knew the guy personally, they both have kids together, and I guess she seemed happy in her pictures. But then again everyone looks that way in their FB pics. She was really hot. Beautiful face. Amazing body. But she was so dumb to talk to. Just to make it clear, she was the hottest girl in school. Not the most popular. The most popular was only popular because she always got in trouble and had this bad girl attitude. She was in no way hot. No idea what happened to her. I saw Mr. Homecoming King at a party 4 years after. This handsome drop your panties kind of guy gained about 50 to 60 pounds and was an obnoxious drunk. Trent McNeely. Apostrophe. He's an NFL player. She is a cheerleader. They are married. I hear they are not doing well financially though. Blew his $1 million contract money on bullshit and are now struggling. The one guy that stood out to me in school was not the most popular guy at school, but he was always clean looking, had the best trainers, expensive watch slash jacket, and hair always perfect, and he was a nice guy to boot. Just came from a well-to-do family that showed in his appearance. He now has a great job, a gorgeous wife and 2 beautiful children. It took me a minute to think about who were the hottest people I went to school with, and then laughed at myself because the guy from the year above me, who was probably considered the hottest guy in school until he graduated, is my brother-in-law. He even had his own hot guy trading card back in the day. Seriously. They sold them in actual stores. Still reasonably attractive, if I actually think about it. I don't because he's like my brother, but 15 years older, slowly balding, and has a little booze belly. He works for the cable company, has 2 beautiful kids, and plays kickball on a local team. Just a guy. Hottest girl got significantly less hot, gained weight, got married immediately after graduating college. Don't know of any career path. I think she's just kinda along for the ride with her husband. The guy is just kinda existing, partying, has his parents paying rent for him, etc. She became arguably the most famous supermodel in the world and made the cover of Sports Illustrated. Twice. Kate Upton. I actually had a conversation of sorts with him the other day. We never so much as had a conversation throughout high school, since we hung out with different groups. He got my number from I don't know where and text me. Again. Never have spoken to each other before. Within 4 messages. He said who it was texting. that he heard I was newly single and sent me a peen pic and then a video. Seriously, this isn't how dating works these days, is it? I just typed in one of the hottest guys from middle school on Facebook and he now dating the hottest girl from my middle school. They dated back then and have since rekindled whatever feelings they once had as 12-year-olds. Kind of weird, but they seem happy. Well, there were two very hot chicks. One got married right away to the hottest guy, who ended up in prison. They eventually divorced, and she just remarried another loser. The other chick got unbelievably fat. I feel bad when this happened, but I went to the store and the cashier called me by my name and I looked at her with "How did you know my name?" eyes. She then asked me if I remembered her from high school, and I felt so bad saying no, but she retorted right back with "It's okay. I know I got fat. I was by no means popular, so I felt bad I couldn't recognize her. I'm usually the weird girl who knows of everyone, and it caught me off guard." In high school, there was one girl who was almost literally the girl next door. She lived across the street. She wasn't hot in the 10/10ths would bang type of way, but I never was that kind of guy. She was hot to me because she was just about perfect to me in every way. We shared neighborhoods, friends, classes, church. She was everywhere in my life. We were friends. And for a while, I even went to her house almost every day to just hang out and enjoy the outdoors. Nothing ever happened between us. As much as I wanted there to be a connection, I don't think she ever felt the same way. Now, we are both graduates, currently unemployed, and living only 3 hours away from each other. I called her recently, just out of the blue, to see what she was up to after 4 years of college and never seeing her since HS graduation. It turns out we had the same major in college. We almost made plans to go hiking, and she said she'd call me back once she's talked to some friends about joining us. She never called back, and that's the end of my story. No twists, no happy ending. I guess that's why they call it a crush. Apostrophe. Sorry to let you down, but movies aren't true. They are both doing great, both married with great jobs. They partied hard in high school and college. I think it's because they were able to learn how to balance their lives early and take bigger risks. Not to mention, things tend to be easier for attractive people, but they weren't exactly bad people by any means, just popular and hot. So in conclusion, good for them and their continued awesome lives. The hottest girl converted the slacker/party guy who always liked her to Christianity, and he got his life together and became an engineer. They married and have a happy family together. The guy's not me. Close bracket. The hottest guy played professional sports after high school, married a Kennedy and now is soaking up the nepotism working towards inheriting his dad's financial planning firm. Also not me. Close bracket. Started dating her 9 months ago and just found out we are having a child together. Shit just got real. Girl, pregnant at 18 of boyfriend of 2 months. Married for about 13 years to the guy, who was actually an awesome father and husband. Midlife crisis at 33ish. Moved with lowlife lover. Her family is still pissed about it, and lowlife is not welcome to their house. She is however a super hard worker. Got a master's and PhD while raising 3 kids. And before the Chris is a very good mom. She still is. Just made some questionable decisions. Boy, trying to think of the hottest, but cannot decide who that was. 2 of my school crushes ended up drug addicts. One is the brother of hot girl. My boyfriend in high school for 3 years was actually very popular. After we broke up there were some rumors about gay affairs. But I think that is because he became a model, and in a small town the 2 things are pretty equivalent. He is now an engineer. Last time I heard from him, he was doing fine. Was distant friends with one of the more popular girls in school and lost touch with her after graduation. About 4 years later I went to a gun show and saw her wearing a leather vest with a patch across the back that read property of Rob while she was with a guy. Rob I assume. And his group of nice looking friends all wearing leather vests with matching patches. TLDR, popular girl became biker gang member's wife. I'm not sure how you determine hottest, so I'll go with senior prom king and queen. This is based entirely on seeing them at the 20-year reunion. Prom queen, housewife with 3 children. in great shape, has aged really well, was nice in high school, but seemed rather reserved at the reunion. I got the feeling she expected everyone else to have aged as little as she has, and was a bit shocked and revolted by her old classmates. Prom king. Total opposite of the prom queen. Overweight. Didn't look very healthy. Sad looking comb over. Personality didn't change much. He was loud and obnoxious in high school, and was the same at the reunion. The only difference was he was loud and obnoxious about politics instead, of which girl he was screwing on the side. Works as a supervisor for the county waste treatment plant. Biggest surprise though wasn't the hot people, it was the science superstar. We had one classmate who won tons of scholarships, had a special commendation from NASA for some project he did in his spare time, and most every academic award the school handed out, from what I could gather from others. He washed out in college, finally getting a 2-year degree from the local community college after a decade. After losing his scholarship, he moved back home to live with his parent, where he still lives. Does Geek Squad type work for a local computer store? To me this was the most shocking change of anyone from my high school. I expected him to be a Bill Gates or at least Bill Joy type. Became a NBA cheerleader, then married an ASCA driver and now owns a boutique or whatever. It's nice to know, and brings closure, that there was never a possibility of a thought that maybe I had a chance. She went to USC and got an internship working in movies. She get to meet celebrities on a daily basis. I'm thinking she is doing really good right now. I wish I talked to her more. He was a pretty big tool in HS, but ridiculously hot nonetheless. He did actually chase me for quite a while. He really wanted to date me, but I had a BF who was away on foreign exchange, so I never let things become more than friends. He's in the Marines now, all into CrossFit, and still fine as hell. He's really family oriented and seems like he has his poop together. Whomever lands him in the future is one lucky lady. The resident school cute guy went on to be on So You Think You Can Dance, and now he's occasionally on Glee and some other Disney Channel shows as a backup dancer. The stereotypical hot girl dropped out of college to become a hairdresser. Ha. I sat behind her for 4 years. Not my choice. Hers. I loved that girl with all my heart. Senior year came, and she asked me to prom. I almost died. Didn't work out at all the way I thought it would. Graduated. College. Stuff. Years later she's having affairs with married men, and is a school psychologist. From what I hear miles of weenie has been in that lad. Why? But I still love her for who she was then. We knew each other from high school, and flirted back and forth the first half of freshman year, 2001. I had to finish the semester early for a family issue. I came back, and she was dating this guy a couple years older. They're now married. She's a doctor. He's a stay-at-home dad. The prettiest girl in our school is a depressed school teacher and single mom. She's still stunning, and she was always kind. But her FB posts make it obvious that she is always very, very sad. Open bracket. The hottest girl I went to school with, Terry Brandner, ended up becoming a Revlon model, appeared in films, and she also married Arthur Jones, the man who invented Nautilus exercise equipment. She became the first ever female 747 airliner captain, Captain Terry Jones. And Jones' former company also now markets the Bowflex and Master lines. Arthur Jones also created the Jumbler Estates. Yeah, she did well for herself. And she was a very nice person in high school. Brandon High School, near Tampa, FL, to boot. She went through a period of making poopy choices in men. Just kind of stumbling through life. Gained a ton of weight. She bounced right back. Lost all the weight working out and eating great. She even helped other girls from our school get healthy, became an esthetician, and married a really sweet guy at a low-key wedding. In high school she was sort of rude, but she is so down to earth now. I like her much better. She even apologized to me, even though she was never that bad. She just wanted to make sure she had no bad blood with anyone anymore. He is still ridiculously good looking, in dental school, popular, outgoing, and well liked as ever. She was apparently wearing a lot of makeup in high school. I went to a huge high school, 4,500 total pop. Graduating CL but 730 people. The guy that got all the girls. Was uber popular. Talented. Never did drugs. Teachers loved him. Had everything going for him. Flash forward 15 plus years. Got into drugs. Got kicked out of prestigious theater program. Got kicked out of the house. Got deeper into drugs. Last time I saw him was by accident, and I barely recognized him. He was homeless. Talking to himself in a daze wandering the street. All of them I remember, and have shamelessly FB stalked, have remained irritatingly hot even after 15 years. One of them managed to get hotter, and has surpassed the model threshold. He knocked up his girlfriend during college. But his girlfriend is equally hot. Which means their kid is also going to be the hottest guy at his high school. Which probably means he's also doomed to knocking up his equally hot college girlfriend. Repeating the cycle forever. She ended up becoming Miss Arizona. Came in like 4th place for Miss USA and now applying for medical school. Real shocker. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.